I'm going to demonstrate using this API that allows us to retrieve information from a movie database. It's called the OMDB API, the Open Movie Database API. It's not IMDb, but it uses a lot of the same information that is available at IMDb. Here I have an example query that allows me to retrieve an individual movie and all its information, such as the title of the movie, the year that it came out, the rating, the director, the writers, the plot, some of the lists of the actors, the ratings, some images for some poster art, some ratings from different rating folks, like Rotten Tomato, Metacritic, and also one of the things that of interest here is the IMDb ID. Right? So this is a unique identifier, like a primary key that uniquely identifies this object. And the API allows me to retrieve it by providing that ID in the query. Okay. Also, the way that we notify that this is a valid URL and that I have access to this information is that there's a free version of this. I have a paid version of this, and this is an API key that they have provided to me so that I can query this URL. All right, this is my API key. Please don't use my API key. There's a free version of this for you to use on your own if you intend to use this API. You can also use the same API to instead of asking for an individual movie, you can do a search by title or search by some generic either title or actor or director. So if you search for, say, Batman with the same API key, it comes back with an array, a summarized array, right, of all the movies that match that criteria. So here are all the movies that have Batman in their title, or have Batman as a director, or Batman as a actor. Here are the ones that match the title. So notice that the objects that come back are fairly much more sparse, right? Has very little information. It's a summary. Okay, it has the title of the movie, the year that came out, the IMDb, whether it's a movie or TV series or whatever it is. Also some poster image for that movie. But notice that it does not contain the director, it doesn't contain the actors, the plot, none of that, right? So you can use the combination of these two URLs to first get a generalized, summarized result set, right? And then if you want individual information about a specific movie, you can then use that IMDb to then do a second query, right? If you have the ID, you can paste it here with the I attribute, right? We can paste that and then get information about that one specific movie. Yes? So the combination of these two queries allow you to implement, something like a master-slave, like a summary then details page, right? Where the summary is a summarized list of result sets, and then there's a details page that might give you more information about that one particular object. Yes? So this is a very common theme amongst different types of APIs that you will find out there, whether it's sports or food or stocks or medicine or whatever you might find, right? Typically you will find that they will have at least two queries. One of them that allows you will return with some summarized result set, right? That will include also primary keys, right? Will contain primary keys that will allow you to then do a second query for more details, right? For more expanded information about a specific item. Make sense? Right? Where you might ask for your sports teams or music or songs or whatever it is, right? And then there will be a summary where you only get the title of the movie or the name of the sports teams or the names of your restaurants or events near you. But then it'll give you some unique identifier which you can then do a subsequent query that might say, where that event is happening and who's sponsoring it and how to buy tickets and blah, blah, blah. It'll give you more details about that specific object. That makes sense? It's a very common theme. Whatever domain of interest you might be in, that should be more or less the same for any of those. Make sense? So identify those APIs, and you can build an entire application around those two queries. Okay. The other thing is that you notice that this URL is not following REST. It's not a RESTful query. It's just using queries at the end of the question mark, right? And it works just fine, right? And so it doesn't have to be RESTful, whatever it is API that you choose. But the ones that you implement, the ones that you own, need to be RESTful, right? The third-party APIs, we can't enforce anything on somebody else's API, but yours should follow RESTful conventions. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate how to build a really tiny prototype application using these two URLs. All right, excellent.